And it dawned on me during my doula training years later, the work happens with or without you. You're not even here. You don't even live here.
I want to go back to something that you said that I think is really important. You have not been able, for the systems that exist, you haven't actually experienced one that was nourishing for you. And I want to explore that a little bit, because I think that what we need to start really doing, especially from a philanthropic point of view, from a point of view of where am I trying to help? Where am I trying to add value? Where am I trying to steward resources? Is that what has really inspired you to create PopWorks Africa? Is that what has inspired you to dive into Black Doula Project? Because I think that that's the other thing. We can't do systems change without knowing what we're trying to change to.
I always know what I'm trying to change. I really do navigate the world not experiencing the most welcoming circumstances as a dark-skinned, bald-head Black woman, immigrant again in DC. And so for PopWorks Africa, I had to create PopWorks Africa because I was really tired of being the only Black African person on the international development staff or board or space, being tokenized, having to listen to people speak about African people in a certain way because we were all in DC and they were so far away and they were the beneficiaries of the intervention. I have been running PopWorks since 2017, and I started it because I thought there was a way we could approach international development interventions from a place of humility and understanding of trauma, and letting those things be fuel for solution building, radical collaboration. And I never felt that in the international development systems, the philanthropic systems I was entering. And so I said, I don't want to, as my therapist says, I could feel better about this. I could feel better about working in international development if I can create my own way of working, if I can, be more honest around fundraising, be more transparent with how I pay people, be more transparent about how I do business development, bring my creativity into it, bring my spiritual side into it. I never get to do that in systems of international development organizations and systems of change, international change. And so that's why I started PopWorks. I started Black Doula Project because doulas felt like a luxury for a lot of Black people I knew. And I didn't know a lot of Black birthing people who were wanting and willing and had the means to pay for birth and postpartum doulas.
Stephanie, just for those of us for our listeners who might not know, can you describe a doula? Can you just tell us what a doula is and who, what they bring to the world?
So doulas are non-medical birth workers who are really called into birthing spaces to ensure that what the birthing person wants to happen, happens. And they feel safe, they feel nurtured, they feel knowledgeable, and they feel that they know and are conscious of what's going on during their birth. And also doulas postpartum are there to literally save lives, But the thing that I learned so much as somebody who has worked very hard on the continent of Africa in the diaspora to support people is that the work of birthing a child is going to happen whether I'm in the room or not as a doula. And it really took me back to my NGO work where I've traveled all over Africa, but I really thought I was so important that when I left, the work might not happen anymore. Or if I wasn't there, to do this training on advocacy around family planning, maybe the advocacy wouldn't happen. And it dawned on me during my doula training years later that the work happens with or without you. You're not even here. You don't even live here. And doulas will say, like, I love this work, but I'm not birthing the child. Maybe that you feel spiritual support, but there's only one person in the birthing room birthing a child. And that connection that I made during my doula training after almost a decade of working in INGOs, it was the point of no return for me.